Bianco-Splann here to discuss conscious leadership in an AI world. This is the fourth in a video series in which we're exploring the conscious leadership principles in a rapidly changing world. First off, conscious leadership is all about the human connection. Now, I frame these leadership discussions each week in the context of this accelerating technology that we call artificial intelligence, or AI, and how it is exponentially usurping and controlling how we as human beings connect and perceive our realities. I'm also going to be sharing some data points in the front end of this video around a video that I recently viewed from the Center of Human Technology, which was recorded on March 9th, 2023, in which there's a discussion, a powerful discussion with regards to this new technology, where it was, where it is today, and some of the concerns, the significant concerns that we should have as this technology moves forward. Now, in a recent survey that was conducted by the Center for Human Technology, interviewing AI researchers, a very chilling response emerged. 50% of AI researchers believe that there's a 10% or greater chance that we as human beings will go extinct because of our inability to control this technology. That's 50% of the experts in the field believe this to be true. Now, Tristan Harris and Asa Rasner, the two gentlemen from this video, these researchers and experts, they discuss how existing AI capabilities already pose catastrophic risks to a functional society. They also look at how AI companies are caught in this race to deploy this technology as fast as possible without having any restrictions or any controls or safety standards in place. And also they take a look at what it would mean to upgrade these institutions in a post-AI world. Again, I'll include the link below this video for all of you to view this important video. Harris and Raskin deliver a powerful presentation on how AI has really evolved over the last decade into what's now named GPT-3, or what they refer to as the second contact with AI. Now, the actual naming of this new AI technology is a generative large language multimodal model. Multimodal meaning different forms of technology and including video, text, sound, writing, etc. And understanding the nature of how technology is interacting with society, they've actually laid out 3 rules of technology. I'm going to share those with you right now. The first one is, when you invent new technology, you uncover a new class of responsibility. One of the examples that they give is the right to privacy. Now, the founding mothers and fathers of the Constitution didn't feel the need that they should legislate this thing called the right to privacy. But certainly, with the mass production of cameras into our world, this has changed the necessity for us to actually have legislation and laws protecting the right to privacy. The second rule is that when you develop this technology and it confers power, it starts a race. And then the third, if you do not coordinate, the race will end in tragedy. So let's step back a few years to what they refer to as the first contact with AI, that being social media. As they explain, this technology, which is considered a fairly simple process, is designed to capture and keep track of what stimulates our nervous systems, right? So it's photos, it's sound, it's images, it's text, it's advertisements, etc. And then taking that and actually putting that into your social media feeds. I mean, we all know what happens when we're exploring online. Let's say we're looking for new running shoes, or we want to take a vacation to Walt Disney World. The next thing you know, in various forms of our media, you'll see ads, you'll see articles, you'll see related data that miraculously show up to stimulate our nervous system. And while the creators and the developers of these social media platforms, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, will extol the benefits of this technology, which, by the way, are true, they'll say that it's giving everyone a voice, it's connecting with like minds, it's joining with like-minded communities, and enabling small business to connect with customers. All true. However, the unintended consequences of this technology really are negative impacts to our humanity, such as information overload, addiction, doom scrolling, influencing culture, the sexualization of kids, QAnon, shortening our attention spans, polarization, bots, deepfakes, cult factories, and the breakdown of our democracy. So the net effects of this first contact with AI, social media, have been anything but beneficial. And even worse is that the unintended consequences have not been effectively addressed, mitigated, or constrained with any controls, safeguards, and/or agreed upon restrictions or legislation. So the second rule of technology has in fact started a race between these technology giants, Google, Microsoft, YouTube, and others. And the third rule states, without coordination, the race ends in tragedy. Generative large language multimodal AI is moving so rapidly that the developers of this technology are concerned because the technology is starting to learn from itself, well beyond what's explainable, with an impact, obviously, to humanity. Now, I could continue to provide you with ominous examples as human beings in terms of how AI will affect us, but I'm going to leave it up to you to actually view this video from Harrison Raskin to develop your own insights here. For now, let's dive into the fourth principle in my book, Conscious Leadership, 7 Principles That Will Change Your Business and Change Your Life. Be a risk taker. And how appropriate given the context of the dramatic impact that AI is having in our contemporary world. In my work as a professional coach and a performance consultant, I frequently will remind leaders at all levels that if you do the same things the same way, expecting to get different results, you've just jumped into crazy town, right? It's insane. And that fact has never been truer than it is today. Conscious leadership requires courage. It's not for the faint of heart that one challenges the status quo. Risk-taking in leadership means having the courage to acknowledge the dysfunction in your organization and then take steps to effectively navigate the complexities of the change that are occurring. As is in the case in all the principles of conscious leadership, equally relevant is the necessity to be a prudent risk-taker in your personal lives as well. In the world of change that's upon us, it's not enough to cling to what worked in the past. What is required is conscious ability and conscious awareness to embrace the change and, like I like to say, dance with the flow. Again, not easy, but imperative in terms of adapting to the acceleration in our world. While everyone has the capacity to be a conscious leader, not everyone has the willingness or the ability to row that boat against the current of equilibrium and normalcy that characterizes most of our companies and our organizations. To do so not only requires courage, but also finesse and agility. Human beings are hardwired to find places of comfort and stability, environments where change is kept down to a minimum. And as I mentioned in previous videos, most of us operate from what I call autopilot, existing somewhere between a rueful past and an uncertain and at times fearful future. But the present moment is where we exist. Oftentimes, the opportunities to address change occur in the present. It's in these moments that provide you, as a conscious leader, to take the risk of being empathetic, compassionate, and seeking to understand others. Being a risk taker in this way opens the door to building trust, transparency, and psychological safety, all baseline ingredients for a high-performance team and business, as well as outside in your personal lives as well. So risk caring for those that you lead and serve. Simon Sinek, in many of his recommendations for leadership, effective leadership, will state that leadership is about caring for the person on the right and caring for the person on the left. Do those you lead actually know that you care about them? We know that the top reasons why employees leave companies and organizations is because of their bosses. My boss doesn't care about me. My boss doesn't develop me. My boss doesn't provide me feedback. Take the risk to care. And lastly, being a risk taker requires that we bring into our consciousness the fact that being human, we have bias. As I spoke to in a previous video, bias forms our belief systems, those indelible values, foundations, and structures that guide us both personally and professionally. Now, it's important to understand and to acknowledge the strong influence that technology has, especially the dramatic impact of AI that subliminally infuses into the collective. The dark side of the race for developing AI is designed to reinforce and even build upon these limiting belief systems, the outcome of which is to strengthen and reinforce an already damaging polarization in our collective. The challenge and the great opportunity as a conscious leader is to risk setting your belief systems aside. By doing so, you offer others the chance to participate in the process of creating innovation, empowering ownership of success, and building stronger teams necessary to tackle the challenges in the AI world that we're all a part of. So, remember, conscious leadership is all about the human experience and the human connection. Being a conscious leader means being the real you, living in the present, being a peace builder, quelling the fires within, and choosing to be a risk taker. So join me next week as we continue to explore the principles of conscious leadership in an AI world. Until then, I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you'd like to know more about my work as a professional coach, a spiritual mentor, a performance organizational consultant, a motivational speaker, and an emotional intelligence trainer, please go to my website, illuminateambitions.com. That's illuminateambitions.com. And if you'd like to participate and enjoy a coaching relationship with me, please go to my website and sign up for a free consultation. My books, Conscious Leadership, 7 Principles That Will Change Your Business and Change Your Life, and Dying to Live, A Tapestry of Reinvention, can be found on Amazon.com. Until next time, be the conscious leader the world needs.